Welcome to part 2 of this video. So I am going to just make it episode part 2 because I did technically do this within the first episode and the goals stay the same. Now if you don't remember what the goals are for this one, it's to fight the Ender Dragon. Probably just, like I said before, get as stacked as possible and have a villager trading hall set up. And that is basically what we did. Maybe, we'll see. So, first of all, I'm just showing this clip. This is about the timeline of when this starts. I hadn't gotten the villagers done, I just kind of wanted the villagers in one episode, so I don't have to, talk about them in between everything, because I kept working on them slowly but surely over time. But instead, this is just to give you the timeline of when we started going to the nether, because that is exactly what we did. Now, unfortunately, about me going to the nether and everything, I forgot to record. As you can see, I do have 33 levels, and I have 37 blaze rods. Now, I actually also have a stack in my inventory, but it turns out that we did find a nether fortress. Initially, we didn't know if there was a nether fortress or not, because it showed up in the realm stories. MC Squared went to it. He didn't see it. So he assumed that the realm stories basically lied, or there was like some sort of bug that happened. So then he went ahead and said, well, I guess it's not here. And then he kind of gave up on it. Then, finally, the person who actually did find it said, hey, the nether fortress is over here. I'm going to get my blaze rods. And once I get my blaze rods, you guys can do whatever you want to the nether fortress. So yeah, we went ahead and got blaze rods and stuff. And we also got a wither skeleton skull. Now, since MC Squared was showing me around and he ended up dying because he just uses iron gear, we went ahead and gave him the 37 blaze rods. As you can see, we do have a wither skeleton skull, and we do have a stack of blaze rods for ourselves. He told me I could take the iron blocks if I really wanted to, and because that was like my main method of actually getting emeralds for the most part, because it was a lot easier to get iron blocks, especially with how many he was giving me, versus going and mining down a tree every single time. So I much appreciated the iron blocks, and I went ahead and gave him all of his tools and stuff back. And now we have a wither skeleton skull, and we got some blaze rods, we got 30 levels, and we're balling. And as you can see, the villager trading hall is not maxed out like it was before. Once again, this was a little bit in the past. Now, this one is jumping ahead to when I actually got all of the villagers done and dusted. I went ahead and got a Smite 4 sword to go ahead and kill up some wither skeletons, and I was in this for like, I kid you not, I was just going around for like about 10 minutes and I got 2 wither skeleton skulls, and then I kind of sat here for like another 20 minutes and got some more wither skeleton skulls. I spent like 30 minutes and I got a ton of wither skeleton skulls. It was kind of crazy. Now, one last note, you might notice the entire huge slabbed off place over there. Also, you might have noticed that the nether fortress, a lot of it is covered in dirt. Underneath that dirt is also slabbed off. That is because the person who initially found it, I had said they wanted their wither skeleton skulls, and then they didn't care what we did to the place afterwards. Well, that's what they did to the place. They, slopped off the entire place and made like a safety box because they were scared of the nether fortress. Admittedly, like, I'm taking quite a beating here, and the healing on Bedrock Edition is not nearly as good as in Java Edition, which definitely was a little bit sketchy, but I don't know, I just figured I should mention that because it was kind of goofy to me. It was more comedical than anything. I'm just surprised that they actually had, the driving willpower to actually go ahead and do that. I just figured I should mention that. Now here's a supercut of me just killing some withers, and as you can see, we got a head there. Now, we also killed some blazes while we were here, too. And we got a couple of blaze rods. That one also dropped a skull, that one also dropped a skull. And then we found this skeleton, who had netherite leggings. As far as I've been told, the piglins can drop it, so I guess a piglin died or something. Now, what I do find funny is all of the stone swords I was leaving behind, the regular skeletons were grabbing too. We also decided to grab some quartz while we're here, and now we have 7 skulls in total. Now we also have to do a resource check of blaze rods, ender pearls, and that was about all. We did move one of the skulls up here, and then we also wanted to go ahead and fight the wizard now that we had the skulls, so we went ahead and made some bottles. I was planning on making healing bottles, but I realized I don't have nether wart, so first of all, we needed soul sand, also to summon the wizard, but also to get some nether wart. This one was completely empty, but happily, mining through this, we did find some nether wart, and now we are moving on to actually fighting the withers. So we went into Crazy Savage's cave and we just poked around. We went ahead and found an amethyst geode, some diamonds, and we eventually found this place, which then we decided to go ahead and do. But you might have noticed all of the creatures. Now, what do you think happens when you find a lot of creatures inside of a cave? Well, of course, more creatures. Why not? And more creatures, and more creatures. There was a lot of them in here. Now we decided to also cover up this lava. Now, initially, I thought this cave was a pretty good place to do it, but it wasn't. Also, I definitely don't fall into lava, I swear. Now, as you can see, there is more creatures, and we did find some more diamonds while we were in here, too. Finally, I decided, you know what, I can't stop the creatures from happening, so let's just start it now. I brought plenty of health potions, plenty of deaths around me, too, and finally, it was summoned, and maybe it's because of the cave, or maybe it was because of just the situation, but this wither was pretty dang difficult. Admittedly, it's also a bedrock wither, and I haven't fought it in, like, quite a while. That being, like, freaking, what, 6 years? I haven't fought it in 6 years? Yeah, no, the bedrock wither is kind of crazy. I kind of forgot how strong it is. I also didn't realize at the time, because of the wither effect and just the sheer panic of realizing this was going to be a lot more difficult than I remember it being. I did, like, splash 2 health potions whenever I got low, which did lose the effectiveness of the second health potion, since it didn't give me the full amount of health that it possibly could. Also, the health regeneration difference with Java and Bedrock when you eat food also makes the wither effect substantially more scary and a lot more sketchy. I can tell you that for a fact. The bedrock wither is also a little bit harder to hit with how it moves around and such, and it's kind of goofy, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's nothing else I could say other than it's kind of goofy. Now, I am going to kind of show the entire clip just because it doesn't take too long. Now, I do remember it dropping down and making a hole and then summoning wither skeletons, but I guess they added something new where it drops really deep into a hole, because I do not remember it, you know, digging straight down like that. And I do remember it's just like Java where you can't attack it while it's whatchamacallit, in second phase. Now, I can't tell if the wither regenerates on Bedrock Edition. I know it does on Java, but as far as I could tell, it was not regenerating. So, I guess that's one thing. At least it doesn't regenerate on Bedrock Edition, though it does have, what, like twice the health. It has more erratic patterns, and it also has that dash attack that does so much damage. Just look at my health right now, right? I have, I don't know, 4 hearts down, and it literally does like freaking 3 full hearts of damage. 3 full hearts of damage with full protection for diamond. If I didn't have any armor on, I guarantee that would probably one-shot you, because that's a lot of damage. Now, the nice thing is spam clicking is a thing, but the problem is Smite is not nearly as useful, and because it does have more health and everything, It's a little goofy. Oh, so this was super close. So I'm on 1 heart, and then I'm on half a heart, right? And then I die, right? And I almost died before it exploded at the very end, because the bedrock with it, of course, why not? Why doesn't it explode at the end also? And if I did die and then it exploded, all my stuff would be gone. Now we went ahead and grabbed some blocks just so that we could get back down there, because last time I used an ender pearl, but this time, you know, I didn't have ender pearl since all of them were on me. I really prayed to gosh that this wouldn't kill me, and happily it did not. So then we just go ahead and mine down and try and get to my stuff, because this was a little ways away, and I was a little bit panicked that all my stuff was about to despawn, but happily, thank goodness, it did not. Now, we did find some diamonds that were revealed from this, and we almost left the nether star also, but happily I saw that right beforehand. Now, because we didn't have, like, any good way to get obsidian, we just took lava from his lava farm and made obsidian blocks right on the water nearby, and we set up our beacon right by his base since we're planning on taking down this hill. Now, on a slightly different note, snow blindness. Now that we finally got the slow nut blindness beacon up, we finally just decided to go ahead and put haste 2 on it. And as you can see, I already flattened out the up top part. I did this without a beacon. Before then, I finally decided getting a beacon would make that faster. We went ahead and just got some diamonds from the diamonds we found over there. We also finally decided to enchant the netherite leggings, and then we had to just repair them. And then a llama decided to spawn in there. Instead of having to repair our sector pickaxe, we wanted to just make another one, but instead we didn't. But we did continue mining this out and everything, and we forgot that lapis could spawn this high. We got a lot of blocks, and we also, least importantly out of all of this, got it mined out. Now, we also realized that we needed to mine out all of this too, but we wanted to save that for later. But we did start building the road, since the road had not actually been built yet. Then we decided, since I only had an iron shovel, to actually instead make a diamond one. And then, we just went ahead and were kind of chilling around as we were waiting for everybody to come around and stuff to do the end fight. Yep, that is where we're going to. So I remembered to make firework rockets, took MC's gunpowder because why not, and then we went on the journey to go to the end portal. Now, the end portal was actually not too far away, and we just followed Lawless Bacon and Crazy Savage, and it's just here at like about a -1,000, -1,000 roughly. So then we went ahead and went down the staircase, eventually found the portal at the bottom, and found that it only had 1 iron, and then we had to wait for MC, so we decided to just go ahead and make another portal since there wasn't one already down here, with just the lava and obsidian right here. And then Lawless took one of the lava buckets, you might have noticed while I was trying to do that. Then I got a POV of real life. Yeah, this is a pretty good POV representation. Then finally Fat Rat and MC got here, since we did a lot of raiding around again, since he went to +1,000, +1,000 I believe, instead. Eventually he got all of the eyes and enders, so that way he could be the one opening it. And of course, I had to be the first one in. And then, when we did go in, it was a pretty tight corridor. And everybody else decided to bridge. I just decided to ender pearl because I'm tryhard like that. I went ahead and just sped up the fight since you guys already know what happened. It's the end dragon fight. All I did find is the dragon breath being slightly different, a little bit funny, because I do remember it being like that on, well, Bedrock Edition, but it's not like that on Java. And then I also found it funny, the fact of how many times it perched. Like, it literally, like, flew around a little bit, perched, flew around a little bit, perched. It did it so often. It perched so often, it actually surprises me, to be honest. Then we also had to turn down our audio because, holy cow, it was loud. Now, it didn't take too long. Once we got the crystals done, it was pretty quick. I decided to pot us all up with strength 2, because why not? And as you can see right here, I accidentally, like, nicked his shoulder while I was trying to fight the dragon, and ended up killing him with just one nice hit, you know. Then, of course, I had to be the first one up here, and I had to throw my ender pearl in, and I just wanted to check quickly if there was any NCs I could immediately loot. I went ahead and scouted around, but then I decided I didn't want to go end busting by myself, so then I came back to the group to go ahead and pair up with MC squared, so that way we can find an end city. Eventually we did. It wasn't too far away. Admittedly, we did have to make a few bridges to get over here, so it took more time than it was, well, distance-wise. And I don't know where he is, but I was the first one into it, and I think he was doing something else. And by the time he got back, I basically looted everything. Also because, no offense to him, he kind of sucks at the parkour inside of end cities, is what I have noticed. Now, we did get a couple of iron enchanted stuff and whatnot. Nothing that I would actually personally keep for myself. So we did eventually end up giving it to him, since he was in just, like, iron, unenchanted gear, as you can see. Once I closed the shulker box, went ahead and gave him all of that. I decided to take the chest plate. So then we went ahead and continued bridging, except then everybody else left besides me and Savage, and this is after the fact, but he went ahead and found an end city with a ship over that way, and then there's another end city with a ship over here, and basically what happened is he gave me the first elytra because he was planning on logging off, and then I could, go get him an elytra while he, goes to sleep, I believe is what he was doing. So then I went ahead and got that elytra over there and gave it to him. There's an end city gateway over there that, I noticed, but we didn't go towards. Anyways, he found that end city, noticed this end city, and then I found that end city, so there's like 3 of them, all right next to each other, which is really convenient. Got a decent amount of loot from it too, and there's also a gateway nearby. Now, we went ahead and continued end busting, since the current plan was to get an elytra so everybody could have one on the server, and we were just finding end city after end city, though we did have to go out a few thousand blocks, and we also found another one with a ship that way. We went ahead and got that elytra, and since we don't have many on breaking on the elytras yet, since we just continuously were busting, we had to keep switching out elytras, and, well, the first time they were doing it was pretty lootful. Now, this was so sketchy of me. I don't even know why I did that, but I did. So, anyways, next end city. We found end city after end city and just kept looting them. We eventually found a lunge spear, and it's a little bit difficult to do. I got it a few times, but you can get the lunge while you're flying. That one was a little bit worse, and this one was a little bit better. But it is nice to save a firework rocket just to get off the ground kind of deal. But it is more difficult to use. Then we went ahead and found another end city. This one had a boat, so we got one more elytra. It was close by to the last end city that we went to, and since I was low on food, and my elytra was also pretty low as well, and I was getting a little bit bored, and there was a gateway nearby, we decided to leave, and instead go ahead and get some ominous bottles to try and do a raid. I also decided to show off some of the loot that I gave to MC squared, regardless of him not being there with me. It was mostly just my trash loot that I didn't want, and because, well, he likes iron, because he doesn't feel bad about losing iron, I went ahead and gave him some iron. Then we also went ahead and did the raid. We got some emeralds, we got some totems undying, and some enchanted books. On top of that, saddles, but saddles are kind of worthless now. They also drop a bunch of iron gear. I forgot about that. It's also enchanted. I have no clue if the ominous bottle level changes that. Now, this is originally where I wanted to end the video, but I ended up just playing more. And also, I forgot to mention I did cure the villagers, and also we had a little mistake happen. Now, we went ahead and end city busted a lot more between clips, and then I went ahead and showed what we got, since I decided not to record any of it, since it was, same old, same old. But then we also decided to open up an end shop. We tried to make it kind of look like an end city, you know, the very, very bottom one where you just have the 2 shulkers without the, you know, 3 layers. We just wanted the bottom layer because we didn't think it was going to be needed to be that big with what we're selling. It was just mainly shulker boxes, all of the enchanted gear that we didn't want, also end rods and elytras, of course, because everybody needs an elytra. I decided because everybody needs an elytra, I was going to sell the first one for 10. Then I was also selling end rods because they look nice, and I assume people will buy them if they want them. Also because they're a little bit difficult to craft, you needing a blaze rod and pop course fruit and everything. And then we also were showing shulker boxes, oh my gosh, and you might have noticed one of those shulker boxes had stuff in it. Eventually I did come back around and grab it since I realized I did leave an entire shulker box full of stuff inside of there that I didn't realize initially. But don't worry, we do find it eventually. Now, we do have some solidly enchanted stuff in here. It's not just old junk, it's just junk to me. For instance, we have these really good boots, honestly, and then we also have that really good shovel, and then we also have this really good chest plate. Then we're also popping some chorus fruit so that way we can make the end rods. Then we went ahead and, this is skipping ahead quite a bit, we made a trade offer to MC Squared because he mentioned how he needed to get kitted up in Diamond finally. So we went ahead and gave him an entire box full of stuff, which is, well, it's pretty well enchanted. I hope he enjoys it. And then, okay, let's try this again. The last one was like 20 minutes long, so let me try and run this down again, but faster. I traded with a bunch of villagers. I got a bunch of books. Who cares? Whatever. We then went ahead and moved all of the weakness potions and golden apples over here since somebody stole 10 weakness potions and 10 golden apples. 10 golden apples was the amount that I had inside the chest. Nobody's fessed up to it. I'm not going to ask for them back since technically anybody can take things from spawn and it's allowed because spawn is a communal area. I'm just more curious who took it. And it may or may not change my opinion on them, but it's just more annoying that nobody asked and nobody's fessed up to it. Let me put it that way. We have a bunch of extra instant health potions from the, whatchamacallit. We have a gunpowder farm, and we have more gunpowder to do with. We have more gunpowder than we know what to do with. We went ahead and basically deconstructed an entire end city, and I'll show you that why in a moment. We went ahead and also put our valuables in a shulker box. Wow. What else? We have a shulker box for firework rockets. As you saw, we have a beacon. We also have some emeralds. We also have this shulker box with some strength and some instant health. We do have less instant health because we did fight the Wither a second time. That's why we have our own personal beacon. We also decided to leave those in there instead. This is just all my stuff, but I guess you can resource check it again. Then we also have an elytra. We got another one because MC Squared died while I was deconstructing an end city, while he was in the end trying to end bust. So then we went ahead and got his stuff for him and brought it to him. MC Squared has made his own little shop front where he has like a little map of that's the exit, and then honey, bamboo, poppies. So as you can see, he also themed them. He's got a little bit of honey over here, and then over here is the bamboo, and then over here is the poppies and the iron. As you can see, voila, fantastic. We went ahead and made a chest over here for him, where we gave him fully maxed out diamond equipment and a We went ahead and also gave him a fully enchanted diamond pickaxe with silk touch, fully enchanted diamond pickaxe with fortune, and we also gave him, well, once again, full, like, diamond helmet, diamond chestplate, diamond leggings, diamond boots, fully enchanted, every enchantment you can possibly want, besides, I guess, the more treasury enchantments, which is soar speed 3, and then also Swift Snake. Is that all of them? I think so. Anyways, he doesn't have those, but he does have, you know, basically everything else you want on your thing, so Feather Falling 4, etc., etc. We also went ahead and made a creeper farm over here. And you probably saw the gunpowder. Yeah. This is the only chest that's not full. Every other chest, fully full. Now this one admittedly has the extra building blocks since we haven't gotten around to finishing it yet, and I'm not sure if somebody took some ice from there, but they might have. But yeah, plenty of gunpowder. I've been AFKing here for XP. It uses the trident killers with trapdoors. As you can see, it's pretty quick at killing them, pretty much instantly. They do have Impaling 5. This is a Silent Whisper design from like 5 years ago. It still functions just fine, honestly. So if you want to use it, go ahead. There's a hole here, so it goes up here and it does that. Now this is a Bedrock exclusive one, I should say, because it does use Trident Killers, so if you don't play on Bedrock, you can't make this. And then the AFK platform is all the way up here. And the XP will go up the bubble elevator, as you can see, and you just AFK right here. I have a safety box just in case, but there is a roof above my head, so no phantoms should spawn. Everything else is glass, so no other mobs should spawn either. So hopefully we're fine. Right here, Crazy Savage made a ominous bottle, like farm, so he goes ahead and just kills a bunch of pillagers and such to go ahead and get their loot drops. And he has told me he has plenty of arrows and plenty of ominous bottles because it is quite efficient. So then he went ahead and opened up a shop over here, and he is selling set ominous bottles. He told me this was like 30 minutes of AFKing roughly, or something like that. And then he's also selling the Flow Armor Gem for 2 diamonds, which is funny because it costs 7 diamonds to make. And then he also has Ominous keys that he's going to sell and Trial keys that he's going to sell. I went ahead and actually bought 2 Ominous Trial keys off of him for 2 Efficiency 4 Unbreaking 3 diamond pickaxes. And I only got like Flow Armor Gems. That was it. And then the first one he did, he showed me off. He got a mace. Yeah, the first one he did. Which, since I think I know how it works, where it's based off of the seed, that means if I opened one more, I would have gotten the mace, but nope, he got the mace instead. And then we also did reconstruct an entire End City ship and an End City. My plan is to expand it further and further, the more and more shop fronts I want to open. In here, I'm planning on selling health potions eventually, and also regen and probably strength, since those are the ones people want. You thought I had enough gunpowder yet? I still don't think I do. We went ahead and sold Lawless a elytra for actually a pretty good price of 5 diamonds, just because I wanted to. And then we have these elytras if you're buying it for the first time, so you get it for 10 diamonds. If you're buying just an elytra after you like die or something, it's 20 diamonds. And now I think 20 diamonds is the more fair price, but looking at the diamond economy, most people don't have just 20 diamonds sitting around. So, yeah. And part of the reason why I gave Lawless Bacon a discount is because he's been my most loyal customer, as you probably noticed. I also expanded it, and I also put this on top. Then since we got so many levels from that creeper farm, we then started level 30 enchanting stuff and selling that for 2 diamonds. And you might notice we're missing some chest plates and some leggings. He went ahead and bought those. He's also been buying bits and bobs from here, so I'm thinking he probably bought like a diamond shovel and some other diamond stuff. As you can see, there's a few holes around. So I've definitely been taking his diamonds. He also bought like 6 shulker boxes and gave me 6 diamonds. So yeah, thus far he has given me probably the most diamonds out of anybody. I hope you all enjoyed episode 1, part 2, and well, this kind of concludes it all. Now, by the time this video comes up, I'm going to probably be focusing a lot more on college, so I'm probably not going to have videos come up very often after this. I'm not sure whether or not I actually do want to go ahead and abandon the One Man vs. Hermitcraft series, since I am enjoying this with other people as it is in SMP, and ultimately that was kind of like my goal slightly with my YouTube channel, was eventually to get onto an SMP. Admittedly, I wanted to get on a Java one, but I ended up getting onto a Bedrock one. So I may or may not abandon it. I've noticed that some other people, such as Lawless Bacon, did abandon their Let's Play to go ahead and join the server, and I think he was on that with Crazy Savage, and I think he also abandoned that Let's Play. So we'll see. I still do like Java, but at the same time, I have, once again, been enjoying actually having some people to play with.